WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. With 24 years in law enforcement, Sergeant Frank Danish embodies community outreach. He has helped hundreds of young people become civic-minded adults through a 17-year leadership development program in the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. This program also has produced police officers with strong moral character. Also, the founder of Adopt a Cop USA, Sergeant Frank Danish, is committed to his members' education and criminal awareness in the community.
So tune in every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, right after Bucks on the Bookshelf, for the Sergeant Frank Show here on the WDBF Radio Networks.
And you're listening to WDBFradio.com.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper, so I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful morning we are experiencing here in South Florida. I don't know where you're at, but I'm down here in Palm Beach County, which is in the southern portion of Florida. Still having coffee, forgive me. And brisk morning, brisk and cool. And don't have my sidekick, Devin, my co-host with me this morning. He is on duty. He is serving. Thank you for your service, Devin. He will be out today, but in his place, I have someone who does an excellent job, and that is Captain Hook. Good morning, Captain Hook. How are you, sir?
Good morning from over here in Clearwater, Florida. It's a brisk 58 degrees, clear skies. What a beautiful day.
And it's really calm over here. How about over there?
Yeah, there's no wind blowing over here today, the last couple of days, but all week long I haven't been able to get out and fish because the wind's been so bad. It's been blowing from 10 to 20 knots and just not fun.
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of people on this side of the state, and this hasn't been much different than what you're talking about. A lot of people were looking forward to going out there and enjoying the water. I got to tell you, I'm just thank you, God. Before, you know what, I should have said that before anything. Thank you, God. What a beautiful day. It really is just a gorgeous day. So yesterday I had the honor and the privilege of going down and covering the Quest for the Ring fishing tournament. I was not prepared. I've got to tell you, Captain Hook, some of the stuff that they did there was amazing. They were giving away, oh my goodness, these people walked away with probably $3,000 worth of goods before it was all over. They got literally a buffet line to shop.
Sounds like my kind of party.
They had I took some pictures, and the pictures are up on the Facebook page if you want to see what you get an idea. I mean, it's not really a kind of a tip of the iceberg kind of thing, but there's some pictures up there on the Facebook page, on the Fish Florida page. You can take a look and you'll see what I'm talking about. It was really a very well done. I got to meet Jimmy. I hadn't seen Jimmy in probably 30 or 40 years. Of course he didn't remember me, but that didn't matter. Got to say hi to him, got to meet some really awesome people. I got to meet, Kyle, I think it was. I hope it was Kyle. It was one of the two, the Sikoras. Kyle is, oh my goodness, I think he's 7 feet tall. So when you say somebody stands out in the crowd, Kyle stands out in there. I think it was Kyle. I'll have him on in a little while. We'll find out whether I'm putting egg on my face or not. But it was a phenomenal time held at the Hard Rock Cafe. I was there for about 4 or 5 hours. Oakley was there, Tuna Skin was there, Yamaha was there, Contender Boats was there. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to have a guest on this morning that was there that really made a tremendous impression on me. And it's called Mermaid Vodka. This is a local made beverage here in Riviera Beach, which is not very far from where I'm at. A local company made by a local, all of the stuff that I like. You know, it's a family owned business, it's a small business, it's local business, all of the goody stuff. And it's something that I got a sample of yesterday. I was quite impressed. I was really very impressed because I'm not really an alcohol drinker. This stuff was some of the best I've ever had. In all honesty, this was some of the very best vodka I've ever had. So we'll have her on today as well. Hoping to have a couple of other people on. I asked the OK Gun Corral man to come back on, Channing. Wanted him to speak a little bit more about what they do there. These are people that handle guns every day. I know that there's a big controversy right now about guns. Oh my God, guns are dangerous. Oh my God. Yes, guns are dangerous. Cars are dangerous. Elevators are dangerous. Everything, if you look at it in that aspect, everything is dangerous in one way or another. Even drinking too much water can be dangerous, believe it or not. And I don't mean to be facetious or take away from the horrible things that have happened. My point being is that with proper training and with respect, these things can be used day in and day out and be used safely. And OK Gun Corral is a place that can help you with that. They have a wide variety of services, and I'm very impressed with them as well. We had, believe it or not, we had somebody from Lamborghini, of all things, we had somebody from Lamborghini at this welcoming party. They called it something else. It was a launching party, I think, or something like that. And so I asked him, I was being smart, I asked him if they were going to make any cars. I asked him if they were going to make any boats, because he had all these pictures of these cars around. And he just kind of looked at me with a grin on his face like, wouldn't you like to know? So could you imagine, Captain Hook, if we had Lamborghini boats?
Well, you know,
we got cigarette, right?
For years they did build marine engines.
They did.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, they built 12-cylinder marine engines, and back in the day when they were building the catamarans for U.S. Customs. They were putting the Lamborghini engines in them, but they didn't take to the salt water so well, and the maintenance was so high they had a hard time maintenance them. Eventually, they ripped them all out and put Mercruisers in them.
Wow. Well, that was I didn't know that. That's very interesting. So anyway, it was a phenomenal time, and I hope to have Todd Rod on again. He is one of the people who is promoting that show. I got to meet him personally as well yesterday, and a lot of amazing people. It was really a great time, a great place to have it. Of course, at Hard Rock Cafe, and a lot of great people. So I'm very grateful that we were permitted to come down and share in the honors and the privilege of doing that. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Once again, I have Robert Warner. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine, and Robert's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in his neck of the woods. I think he's got a new volume out now. Good morning, Robert. Are you there? Did we lose Robert, Steve?
Yes, we did. Stand by.
Hey, this is live radio. That's what happens during live radio. Things like that can happen. All right. Well, I'm sure he'll be calling back in a minute. And so we'll just kind of carry on here. I'd like to go back and discuss a little bit about this fishing tournament. I've never seen anything like this. Of course, my experience in fishing tournaments is limited compared to a lot of people out there, but I have never seen anything like this. A guaranteed prize of $1.5 million. $1.5 million. I can't even wrap my mind around $1.5 million, let alone be willing to win that amount. So, and there's two components to the tournament, from what I understand. There is where they call the meat fish, I guess. It's where you get an aggregate of whatever it is that you catch, and that goes in towards the winning total, or the sailfish portion. And I'm not sure how either one in relation to each other, how they work, but I can tell you that the sailfish portion is $1.25 million. The prize is I have to laugh because I can't even imagine that. $1.25 million on that side. And then the other side, the meat fish, as they refer to them, is $250,000. And I just can't imagine that. But, there's a lot of people somebody's going to win $1.25 million. Okay, let that sink in for a second. Oh my goodness. For fishing. How's that? That's like a dream come true for me. Anyway, I think we have Robert back on. Robert, good morning. I don't know what happened. I apologize, but welcome to the Fish Florida Show, my friend.
Good morning. We're having a little sound issue, but I can hear you now, so.
Great. So what's going on in your neck of the woods? I think you have a new issue out?
Yep, we've been working on that for a while now. We had some computer issues. We finally got the new issue out, came out a couple of days ago. There's some great stuff in there, not just fishing stuff. There's some stuff, if anybody wants to, we started a series on the history of lighthouses in the United States. Oh. First issue of that's in there. There's some great stuff from Tony Ludovico, the underwater photographer, in there. There's fishing reports from around the state. There's some great stuff in there. It's a good read. You know, it's 66 pages long this month, so there's some stuff in there to read, and hopefully everybody will enjoy it. On the cover is our Angler of the Year, Amanda Gilbert. Anyone who has never followed Amanda should. She is an avid outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman, great lady, and we're proud that she is our Angler of the Year. So.
Okay, Robert, you have to be politically correct. She's a fisherwoman.
Now, as far as fishing around the state goes, this cold front's going to change things a little bit for the next few days, but once this cold front passes, we're going to find more of the dolphin and stuff push further south. There's some great catches of tuna coming in out of the Keys right now. Two Conch Charters sent me in a report yesterday. He had just about filled the boat. He had 4 people on the boat, and they had just about filled the boat with tuna.
Wow.
So there's that, and snapper fishing on the reef has been great, and I think after this cold front, the fishing is going to just be great everywhere. There's also some tarpon showing up. So we got that to look forward to. That's always fun.
We have the shark migration coming up, right? Isn't that happening now?
Scala, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I don't know what we're having a problem with the outgoing Skype. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
I
Can you hear me
didn't know
now,
if you could hear
Robert?
me, 'cause I couldn't hear you for a minute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Am I right? Are we having a shark migration going on this side?
Yes, we are on the east.
Yeah.
On the
know,
east
along-
coast, yeah, that's our annual shark migration. They're not going to bother you unless you throw yourself in the middle of them, but but pretty much they'll leave you alone. But they're out there, and again, they push all the bait fish further and further south as they go through, so everything else will follow.
Right. The reason I bring that up is, in my experience, they chase in the cobias and the kings.
They do. The sharks and the cobias show up, and if the sharks are showing up, we're going to be we'll be sight fishing for cobia soon in shallow water, which is a fun thing. If nobody's ever done that, that's one of the more fun things you get to do in fishing, especially if you want to do it with a fly rod.
Oh my goodness.
Which I strongly suggest. But as a matter of fact, anytime you get my buddy Jorge and I used to go out dolphin fishing, and whenever we'd get a school, we'd grab the fly rod. Anybody who's never done any offshore fly rod fishing, they should give it a shot. It's a lot of fun, and will definitely keep you awake.
Well, I can't imagine fly rod fishing for cobia.
Oh yeah.
That's
once they get up into the shallow water, it's pretty simple. If you can see them, you can hit them. So,
wow. And I could see doing it for the dolphin, providing they weren't really big dolphin, but for cobia, I mean, my experience with cobia is that if you don't have the right equipment, it'll tear your equipment up in a heartbeat. So I just couldn't imagine doing it with I don't know much about fly rods either. Do they hold a lot of line? In my mind, I don't imagine that they hold a lot of line.
You can put a lot of backing line on them. You not just have the fly line. There's a lot of backing line on them. And there are actually people who fly fish for sailfish and for marlin, and
Yeah, we had a guy.
Anybody who's ever fly fished for a tarpon knows that a tarpon will tear you up, but it's possible on a fly rod. It's just a lot of work. So.
We had a guy on, I'm trying to think of his name, who was fly fishing for sailfish, I believe, down in the Keys.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, the young lady, the kayaking young lady, her name will come to me in a minute. I think she was fly fishing as well for in a kayak of all things.
Yeah, Pam Worth. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Pam Worth. Yeah. She's doing the same thing, kayak fishing, right? Am I right, Steve? She was kayak fishing?
Yes, she was kayak fishing for sailfish.
And there was a tournament that was going to happen in Pompano, but
there's a video out of a gentleman who hooked up on a marlin in a kayak, and I think it took him about 2.5 miles. So,
oh my God!
Be careful what you hook up with on a kayak.
Yeah,
he's probably still out there.
Bright orange. Make sure bright orange.
But this cold front's supposed to go through next weekend, and after that, I expect the fishing will just be phenomenal everywhere. So. I hope everybody's out there, and I hope everybody's enjoying it. We have added that section into the magazine now called Your Outdoors, which will take in kayaking and sailing and some other sports. We just want everybody to get out there and enjoy their family outdoors. So hopefully everybody will get a chance to do that in the upcoming weeks, and summer's almost on us. So everybody will be out there, I hope.
Hey, Robert, are you in Central Florida?
I can't hear you.
Are you in Central Florida?
I am in Stewart. I'm about 40 miles north of Palm Beach.
Yeah, okay. You're not very far from me at all. We are enjoying an absolutely gorgeous morning. I was just wondering where you were. So you're enjoying the same thing I'm enjoying.
It is beautiful here. Absolutely perfect. I think it's about 62 degrees. I'm on my back porch right now. So.
And, one of the things that, one of my passions is families. I get to play grandpappy this weekend. I've got my grandson with me, and we're going to take him out, and we're going to do, I don't want to say the word because he'll know he's right around the corner. And, but we're going to do what we're talking about here in a little while. And it'll be his first time, and I'm sure he'll be very excited to do that. Robert, good. I really appreciate you taking the time to call in. I'm up against a break, and, I wish you well, my friend. There is a new issue of the Florida Fisherman Magazine.
New issue of the magazine. It's at flfishmag.com.
There we go. Thank you, Robert. Robert Warner with Florida Fisherman Magazine.
I'll talk to you during the week. You have a good one.
Thank you. So don't go away. We'll be right back. It's the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Captain Hook.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
WDBFradio.com. 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 I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing it on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing it on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back, everybody. Welcome to the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. Normally I have my sidekick, Devin Canhigh, with me, but he is in service. Thank you for your service, Devin. He is out on duty protecting our country and doing what is required to keep us safe. Anyway, this morning I have Captain Hook. Good morning, Captain Hook.
Good morning. Good morning.
And believe it or not, I've got I believe he's 8-year-old grandson with me this morning. Say good morning.
Morning.
Oh, you have to say it louder than that. Good morning.
Good morning,
Everybody.
everybody.
That is my grandson, Justin. He wanted to say hi to everybody, and I said it would be okay for him to come in and say hi. So anyway, we are back. Thank you for taking the time to listen in. You can find us on Facebook. It is the Fish Florida Show. You can find us online. It's thefishfloridashow.com. We also monitor the site while we are on the air, and there is a chat box there. If you have a comment or a question, you can enter it in the chat box. Hopefully I will see it and be able to respond to it. And as we've already had one guest this morning, which is Robert from the Florida Fisherman Magazine, a new issue out, so you can find them online. My next guest is Mike Simcoe. Mike does something that I've always wanted to do, but I haven't done. I'm going to have to get around to it, and that is kite fishing. I always thought kites were for kids, but I got to tell you, it is far more sophisticated than that. And Mike is the person to tell you all about it. Good morning, Mike. Thank you for taking the time to call in. Welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Morning, Riscala. Morning, Captain Hook.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's great. I mean, particularly today where it's blowing like cats and dogs out there. Great for getting the kite up.
Well, it should be just right for a little bit of kite fishing and not too much blow. I don't know. It's been blowing over here quite a bit this week, but it seems to be calming down. I guess if you go early, it's not too bad. In the afternoon, it kind of picks up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when it blows like this fairly consistently, it makes it a lot easier to get these kites up and adjusted. And they make kites now for gale force winds. So if you got the right kite for the conditions, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a bit of a lag, Steve. Are you? Can you hear him? Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing him fine.
Okay.
Yep.
And Mike, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. You're a little, the volume's a little low, but that's fine. I still can hear.
Okay. So I heard you say it's blowing. Where are you at?
I'm sitting in North Palm Beach.
You're not far from
just north of West Palm. We fish out of the Lake Worth Inlet for the most part, Jupiter Inlet, and Sailfish Alley, as they call it.
And I understand. I was speaking with Robert from the Florida Fisherman Magazine. And we were discussing a couple of things. One of them was that I brought up is the migration of the sharks. Have you seen any indication of that yet?
Oh yeah, the sharks have moved in very thick. Blacktip spinner sharks on the beach. One of the funnest things you can do. And as we get into the springtime, before they leave, if the wind, as it did last week, blows out of the east, we'll get a little bit offshore of the beach and loft a kite up and put a live bait right there in the shoal and right where the water is breaking, and it's fantastic action.
How big are these guys?
I think they average somewhere between 60 and 100 pounds. The big one's 100.
Wow.
But they're just absolutely perfect. I mean, because they air out and they like to stay on the surface for most of the fight, they wear out fairly quickly. So within 20 minutes on a spinning rod, you got them.
On a spinning rod. That reminds me of a trip I took many, many years ago. We went down to the Keys, and they took me to this place called, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, the 401 Rip, I think is what it was called. It's like a miniature mountain underwater, and where this water rushes up, and there's always all kinds of fish there. We caught amberjack at I think it was a little over 100 feet down. We caught amberjack on spinning rods, and it was hours and hours and hours of big, heavy duty spinning rods, but it was hours. And I had never worked so hard in all my life to pull up a fish that was roughly 45 to 50 pounds, because it was down there so deep. They just wouldn't wear out. And I thought, it would be no big deal. I'll be able to bring this thing up 15, 20 minutes. I'll have it up. Oh my goodness. No, not even close. What an experience that was. It was absolutely amazing. So tell us a little bit about kites, because I'm very interested in the subject itself. I know that there's a wide variety of kites and you can do a wide variety of things with. A little bit of a background on them.
Well, kite fishing has been around for centuries, as historians have figured out. Sometime way back in the days of the Aztec Indians, they were fashioning up their form of kites and flying their baits out from the beach or from their little canoes. But who made it really popular was Captain Bob Lewis in Miami. I think right around the late 40s, 50s, he developed the Bob Lewis fishing kite. And right out of Miami, where he was a charter captain, he would send the kite away from the boat with a release clip. Back in those days, it was a little clothespin, if you remember your mom's clothespins. And he would link that clothespin from the kite line to your main fishing line, which would be a separate rod. And that there would be a swivel, and the line would go through the swivel from your fishing rod, and the live bait would dangle right on the surface. So all the terminal tackle, hooks, leader, back in the day they were using wire and heavy monofilament, that would sit above the water, and the bait would struggle because he was hooked or bridled in the back. He would struggle to dig back into the ocean, and that would send out those vibrations and those distress calls, which would trigger that predatory response from any fish, really, whether it be tarpon or sharks or tuna, and particularly in this case, sailfish, because sailfish is such a prized catch over the years. He was so successful. So right from Miami, he made kite fishing very popular.
I always considered it something that kids would do, and I kind of stumbled across you. I don't even remember how I originally came across your name, but and I said, well, I've always wondered about that. And I've seen people. There was a day that I had a boat myself, had a 24-foot wellcraft. Every weekend I was out on my boat. I was just a firm believer, if you're going to have one, you got to use it, otherwise it's just going to rot, and it's just money going into a hole, basically. So every opportunity I had, really, I would go out in my boat. And I've seen people out there. I've seen people offshore on days when, believe it or not, I've been out on the ocean when it's like a huge puddle. It's just as calm as you could be. And I've seen people out there. What I experienced, though, is that they would be trolling. I would call it trolling. The vehicle would be moving. The vessel would be moving very slowly, but just enough to keep the kite going because it would be so still. And I always wondered how that worked and how efficient that was and how good it was at going after, particular things. I know that the sailfish is a prize thing, but there's other fish as well you can do that with, right? Dolphin, you can do that with. Am I wrong?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'll go back to 2005 when I was requested by a team out in the Carolinas who was a professional kingfishing team, and they had already been fishing 6 or 7 lines on their boat, and they wanted to add more bait to the spread. So they called me and asked me if I would join them for a season. And so I brought the kites. I brought my kite keeper, which, is a storage unit for multiple kites, a kite reel, manual kite reel. And I would travel up there to fish with them, and we would travel all around from, anywhere from Myrtle Beach to Venice, Louisiana. And we would lay 1 or 2 kites in the spread as well, with as many as 6 baits to add to the already 6 that they were fishing.
Wow.
So that was my job, is to run the kites. And we did nothing but kingfish. So it added quite a bit of bait and quite a bit of success to that team.
I think I heard you say 6.
Yeah, I generally will fish 3 baits per kite. So you have a series of 3 clips on the kite line, release clips, and those are set up to come back to the boat to each fishing rod that would have a corresponding bait to it. Mm-hmm. So that's where you get the multiple fish per kite, multiple baits per kite.
So you were flying 2 kites at one time?
Yes. So when you get into more advanced kite flying, what you'll do is you'll tune the kite with a series of split shot weights, adjustments to the bridle on the kite, and you can turn a kite from going from straight away downwind to banking to the right or to the left. So to fish 2 kites, we'll bank 1 right and bank 1 left, and they'll spread as far as 100, 150 yards to one another. So you can imagine the spread that you get with the bait.
Wow.
Well, Mike, how do you set up the fishing poles on the back of the boat? Will you put them on one side for one kite and the other side for the other kite, or how do you do that?
Well, you can imagine if you've seen some of these fishing boats with multiple rod holders on each side of the boat, and they make, some of the aluminum manufacturers will make what's called a trident. So in one rod holder, you could have a series of 3 rods. So one rod holder converts to 1, 2, 3 rod holders, and you simply do it that way. The sport fish boats and some of the more custom center console boats will have what's called a rocket launcher right in the cockpit. And so in my boat, I have a rocket launcher that has 8 rod holders in it, and it sits right behind the helm. So I can stand back there and have as many as 6 or 8 rods. They're my fishing rods, and then off the sides, I'll have my kites and their kite reel. So it's a little bit of an operation. If you guys want to learn more about that, go to kitefishing.com. That's my website, and I've got some instructional videos there, and it kind of shows the setup pretty simply. We're really trying to take the complication out of this.
It can be, you were mentioning about the weights. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, wow, it is very sophisticated. You can actually control the direction in which the kite is going to remain, and fly to, I never considered flying 2 of them at the same time apart from each other, and being able to get an additional 6 lines in the water. That's pretty crazy. I was, speaking earlier about the Quest for the Ring tournament. Are you familiar with that?
The what?
Quest for the Ring tournament?
Yeah, the Quest for the Ring. We're going to actually fish that. That is the Jimmy Johnson National Championships, and the boat is going down there tomorrow, and we'll be fishing that out of the Key Largo at the end of the week.
I was at the welcome party, the initiation party yesterday there at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking of you. Were you there? Did you show up?
He set that up. Yes, we did.
Oh shoot! Well, we were there. It was the Fish Florida Media Group. We were right next to Contender Boats, over where the Oakley was.
Oh, doggone.
So somehow I missed you, and I'm sorry for that. It would have been great to meet you. It is amazing. So did you have any representation there, or strictly just for fishing? You're just a contestant?
I represent. We had one of our great crew members. His name is Clemente Treviso. He was there representing Real Captivating, and that's our team. We've been fishing in the tournament sailfish series for years, and
wow.
I'm really looking forward to this event because Jimmy Johnson puts on a great one.
Yeah, and it's $1.25 million, right?
Right.
That's nothing to scoff at.
That's what I hear.
Well, I got to meet. Did you get to meet Jimmy yesterday?
Well, I wasn't there. The team was represented by Clemente, so
oh, I see. Okay.
I elected not to attend, but no, I regret it because I heard it was such a great party.
It was very nice, very well done. Of course, it's Hard Rock Cafe, so there's a certain degree of expectation there on top of it, but it was very well done and very professional, and all the people were very, very, very kind and very, very welcoming. Got to meet some really, really phenomenal people there. I envy you, my friend, being able to be in this very, very unique and very special tournament. I wish you the best of luck. I'd like to hear about you coming back with a big smile on your face with a with a little over $1 million prize to go with it.
That would be great. That would be great.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Mike. Thank you so much for taking up my invitation and calling in this morning and spending some time and kind of educating us about the kites. Every time you're on, I learn a little something new. I didn't know that they had these weights on them that you could do all this stuff with. So every time you're on, I learn a little bit more. So thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Folks, that is Mike Simcoe. You can find him on kitefishing.com. And we're up against a break, and we will be right back. It is the Fish Florida Show this morning with Captain Hook and Riscala. Don't go away.
listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Briskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Healthy people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. Normally, I have Devin Canhigh with me this morning, but he is on active duty. He is doing his service as a part of the his patriotism towards our country and helping everybody stay safe and doing what he does. So thank you for your service, Devin. Greatly appreciate that. And in his place, I have the one and only Captain Hook. And Captain Hook, good morning again.
Good morning. Good morning. I think we have Kyle standing by on the line from Dockside Fuels.
Well, good morning, Kyle. Kyle is with Dockside Service. And was it you that was there yesterday, Kyle?
Good morning, Scott. Thanks again for having me on this morning.
Yes, sir. So which one of you was there yesterday? Was it you?
Kyle. Yeah, that was me.
That was you.
It was good. It was good to get out there and actually meet a lot of the fishermen that are going to be in this tournament.
That was a unique experience. I don't know how you felt about it. It was very unique and very special to me.
Yeah, no, it was definitely special. You know, we got to meet a lot of the fishermen that are going to be out there and in this tournament, and it was a pretty good turnout, I thought. I don't know what your feeling on that was, but I was pretty impressed with the amount of people that were coming through.
Well, I think you saw the young ladies that were walking around with the little plastic cups of a liquid.
It's unavoidable.
Well, you know, I had about, I think, 2 or maybe 3 of those at the most, and I had to sit down. You saw me sitting down, right?
Oh, that's why you were sitting down.
Yeah, I'm a cheap date. It doesn't take much with me. So a little bit about what you do, Kyle, because I think I hope you met some people there you're going to be able to help, because I think there was a lot of people and a lot of potential for people that you could help there, that you could give them a hand with. And anyway, one of the things I had a question about, one of the people had asked me, and I was never able to ask you on the air, and that is the length of the hose that you have on your equipment. How far can you go with that?
So we got to get we deliver fuel to people's boats, and we got to get our truck within 200 feet of the boat or the dock, wherever we're going. And that usually is not an issue, but you know, time to time, it just depends on the property that we're at. Sometimes we actually can't fuel somebody if it's a little bit too far. But probably 99% of the time, it's not an issue.
So 200 feet is quite a ways. So I can't imagine that can't be very many issues where you run into you can't reach the vessel.
Yeah, it's rare, but there's some situations where we have to use all the hose just to get to the boat.
And you service from where to where?
We do Ocean Reef, which is North Key Largo, all the way down to Key West. And we actually do some South Dade, just depending upon where you are, that you and our schedule.
So if they call you early enough in the day, there's a good possibility if they're down in Key West, they'll see you later on in the day.
Yeah, there's a good possibility. We just ask for 24 hours notice. A lot of times we can fit people in the same day. It just depends where our trucks are that day. But a lot of times we can fit people in. It's not an issue.
Yeah. And I wasn't aware that you go into South Dade?
Yeah, we do parts of South Dade. We're not up there too often, but you know, occasionally Homestead areas, you know, once in a while.
And how are things down in the Keys right now?
Fishing wise?
Yeah.
We're hearing pretty good things. A lot of people are catching tuna. A lot of blackfin tuna right now, in the midday. And they're catching smaller mahi and some small muttons on the reef. But we're hearing a lot of good things about tuna. People are just pulling in a ton of them.
Wow. I think you're the second one that said there's a lot of tuna action going on. How deep are they, when this is going on?
What's that?
How deep are they?
So what we're hearing is they're going pretty deep, midday, pretty deep. And then they're near the surface in the mornings and in the evenings is what we're hearing. But if you're going to go out in the middle of the day, you better plan to go pretty deep.
Any other action going on other than tuna?
Not really. We're hearing a little bit about, there's some mahi out there, but they're not huge. And some people that are doing some reef fishing. But we're finally having some nice weather. It's been pretty rough down there these past couple of weeks, but we've had, 4 or 5 days. It's been nice and calm, and people are finally be able to get out and on the boat and fishing.
That seems to be the consensus, that things are beginning to lay down a little bit as the further south we go down the state. And I understand there is a front coming through. Captain Hook, do you know when this front's supposed to come through?
The front's already passed us over here on the West Coast, and it's come through, but I understand there's another front coming through, Thursday, Friday, where it's going to drop down again to about 65 degrees.
And I wonder if now, is that the front that Robert was referring to where things are going to really start popping?
This was this little cold front. It's come through now, and it's, I think the lows over here were 55, and it should be headed toward your way if it hadn't already cleared down there. But I tell you, the people up in the Northeast, they're just getting slammed up there, and this is all part of that big northeaster that's circling up there.
Wow. I take that kind of like a hurricane, but with snow. Oh, I can't imagine that. Man. So Kyle, if you would, how do people reach you?
You can reach us by phone, 305-923-6509, or you can find us online. Just Google Dockside Fuel, and we are the first one to pop up. And once again, we serve Key Largo all the way down to Key West. And all we ask for is 24 hours notice. A lot of times we can fit you in the same day. It just depends where we are.
Hey, appreciate that, my friend. I wish you a wonderful day. So you going to do any fishing today?
Probably not today. Maybe tomorrow.
No.
We'll see.
No playing hooky today. It's work today and then hooky tomorrow.
Maybe hooky tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see.
It was an honor and a privilege to meet you, my friend. It was really a wonderful experience. It really was. It was I have not experienced anything like that. I don't know if you've had, how much experience you've had with tournaments, but I've never experienced anything like what I saw, yesterday. That was, very, very unique indeed.
Yeah, it was definitely a unique experience. And I'm glad I finally get to put a face to the guy I've been talking to on the radio for a while now.
And we had, Victoria Brinkley was there. Of course, without Victoria, none of this would have been possible. A great deal of thanks and appreciation.
Victoria had lined all of that up for us.
Yeah, great deal of thanks and appreciation for all of that she's done. And she was so good about standing there and making sure that Kyle was introduced to anyone who might be able to use his services. This is the kind of person that she is. This is just what she does. Very friendly, very outgoing. That's just her nature. And couldn't help but welcome everybody that, of course, that came into the booth, but not only welcome them and tell them about the Fish Florida Media Group, but Kyle was right there, and she would, Kyle, listen, this is so-and-so, and introduce Kyle to another possible person who could use his services down there. Constantly building relationships. That's one of the things that I admire so much is the building of the relationships, because in today's society, everything is like disposable. They'll just throw it away. But, people like Kyle and his dad, will build a relationship with you. That's really what they want to do. They don't want to be able to just service you one time, see you by, and, never see you again. They're really looking for people to build relationships with. It's the same way with the Fish Florida Media Group. We're looking for people to build relationships with. We feel that helping each other really you get the most bang for your buck when you help each other. Am I right, Kyle?
No, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Victoria with her Fish Florida mobile app, she's a go-getter. She's out there working for you. You can't debate that.
There was absolute evidence of that yesterday. There's no question about it. I am amazed that she was able to put it all together for us as well. It was, again, a unique experience. Just something that's, I don't know that words could really describe it. If you want to have an idea, go onto the Facebook page. You'll see some of the pictures I took there, of the various people that were there. And, really just a very memorable experience in general. So Kyle, any parting words, any words of wisdom for us that might go out today?
I'm wishing all the fishermen in that tournament good luck. They might see the front's coming through. Hoping for fair weather for them, but we'll see.
All right. Yeah, we know that. I think Steve, Captain Hook is right. I think it's kind of almost passed through here because we're experiencing a very brisk and very cool morning here, where just a couple of days ago I felt like I was walking out into the oven about this time of the morning. So it's a big change for us, and it is a very pleasant change. And it's an opportunity for those of you on the other side of the microphone to gather up your family and go out and enjoy what we love so much here. We're called the Sunshine State for a reason. The majority of the time we do have sunshine. It's not like places up north where it's gray and overcast and, can kind of give you the blues, if you will. It's a beautiful and gorgeous day God has made for us. I would be disappointed if I didn't take advantage of it, and I am. I am going to be taking my grandson out here very shortly, and we're going to be doing what we've been talking about here, and I think he's going to get a kick out of it because he's never done that before. All right, I guess did we lose Kyle, Captain Hook?
No, he should still be there, but
yeah, no, I'm still here.
All right, we got you. I know we got you too early in the morning, Kyle. You're going to have to wake up now, especially after that little party that we had yesterday.
No, I didn't have any of those vodkas. That wasn't me.
Well, like I said, I had two, maybe three of them. I'm not sure, but I had to sit down after all of that. Kyle, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. I greatly appreciate it. One more time, phone number if you want to reach Kyle, 305.
305-923-6509.
Yeah, you're kind of fading in and out on me. I don't know if it's my connection or your connection. So in case it didn't come through, it's 305-923-6509. Dockside Fuel Service. Is it Dockside-Fuel Service?
That's our website is dockside-fuelservice.com.
Yeah. Dockside-Fuel Service.
We're officially just Dockside Fuel Service.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can find him online. And Kyle, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day. Hope you enjoy it, my friend. I know you have to work, but at least you're working in a really nice, beautiful weather today.
Can't complain about that. Thanks again for having me on this morning.
All right, my friend. We'll be looking forward to talking to you again soon. God bless.
For sure. Take care.
Thank you. That's Kyle Sikora with Dockside Fuel Service. I was amazed, Captain Hook, that when I spoke with him regarding the pricing, the pricing of the fuel, their pricing is many times is less than the marinas.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because a lot of it too, you have to remember, they have to pay over the road tax in a lot of the places, and where they deliver it to you, it's like wholesale fuel, and you're not paying a lot of the tax. And they're allowed to use, if it's just for marine use, you're allowed to use a higher sulfur content diesel fuel, which is a little cheaper. And it's amazing that, I'm kind of naive to some of this stuff. I'm ignorant about a lot of it, and I'm learning as time goes on. I never really considered anybody having a service like that where they just drive around. I mean, I know it sounds simpler than it is, but they literally drive to you wherever you are, and then they bring your fuel to you. I had a friend of mine who, I'm trying to remember the name of the vessel. I can't recall the vessel, but it was a 61 Hatteras or 62 Hatteras, I think it was, down there in Coral Reef is where they kept it. And I never asked him, never took the time to ask him, where do you fuel at? Maybe they have their own marina. I mean, that place is amazing. That's a whole show. Ocean Reef is a whole show all in itself. So I never really considered that. That's something that, what a wonderful thing to be able to do too. You just sit there and call them up and, okay, well, we know that he'll be here within 24 hours. We don't have to worry about driving it to so-and-so and then bringing it back and then waiting to go out. There was, a lot of people. Can you imagine how many people are going to be going out? I don't remember when this starts. I think it starts in a week. I think we've got a whole week of activity. This Wednesday, something's happening. Thursday is the Pro-Am, and then Friday and Saturday are the tournaments.
Is there something going on Wednesday?
I'm not sure. I think that's when everybody gathered, and that's when the big captain's meeting is down there. And that's the way I understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never experienced anything like this. So look into it, you guys. I'll tell you what, it's just for informative purposes. It's amazing what they have. The Quest for the Ring, Jimmy Johnson's Quest for the Ring tournament. Anyway, we're up, I guess we're up against a hard break. We're up against the top of the hour, and we will be right back. It is the Fish Florida Show this morning with my special co-host, Captain Hook, and your host, Riskala. Don't go away. We'll be right back. The Fish Florida Show.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. With 24 years in law enforcement, Sergeant Frank Danish embodies community outreach. He has helped hundreds of young people become civic-minded adults through a 17-year leadership development program in the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. This program also has produced police officers with strong moral character. Also, the founder of Adopt a Cop USA, Sergeant Frank Danish, is committed to his members' education and criminal awareness in the community.
So tune in every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, right after Bucks on the Bookshelf, for the Sergeant Frank Show here on the WDBF Radio Networks.
And you're listening to WDBFradio.com.
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 I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They called me a
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back. It is a beautiful morning here in South Florida. I hope that those of us who are in the area and are able to enjoy what we have, go out there and do it. This morning I have with me my co-host, Captain Hook. Devin is out today. The reason he is out, he is an active duty serviceman, and he is on active duty. He's an active duty reservist from the way I understand it. So there's a degree of time that he has to spend certain intervals doing whatever they do to help keep our country safe. So anyway, a special co-host this morning, Captain Hook with me, Steve Kimmerling. Good morning, Captain Hook again.
Good morning. Good morning. We're having a few technical issues here this morning, so I'm doing double duty, yakking with you and pushing buttons over here.
Hot dog. Well, you're doing a great job. I really appreciate it. I'm getting a little fade, but I don't think that's anything to do with you. I'm sure it's something to do with the internet. Something crazy was going on in the last couple of days across the internet. I don't know. I haven't looked, but I have a friend of mine who has an AOL account. All of AOL was down for a while, for almost an entire day.
They're getting ready to go belly up, I have a feeling. I'm surprised. I still have an AOL email account, which I use from time to time, but I don't think they're long for this world.
Yeah, well, they were completely out, and my friend was like, what am I going to do? I have all my emails. As soon as you can get to it, get it out of there. Not a good thing. So, I've noticed some changes on my end as well with regard to the internet. It seems to be, when I do a speed test, I get an excellent speed, but with regard to actually going across and doing something like gathering a web page information or something like that, it seems to be slower. And then I go run a speed test and the speed says it's there. So I don't know what's going on. Some kind of goofy stuff, and I think a little bit of that has to do with this morning and the regard to that lag in there, because I can't hear the other person, and I think they're waiting for me to say something, and then inadvertently we're kind of speaking over each other, so to say.
Well, Friday morning.
Anyway, my next guest I hope to hear from here in just a moment will be representing the OK Gun Corral. Hopefully we'll hear from him. As I spoke earlier about all the negative stuff that we're hearing about guns. There is a positive side to this, and there's a lot of fun that you can have. And providing it's done in the right atmosphere, and it's done with responsible people who are knowledgeable in what you're dealing with, it can be a lot of fun. It can be a very learning experience and a very enjoyable experience, and something that a family can do, something that you can join together. It's a very delicate subject right now because of what has happened, especially here in South Florida. But the truth of the matter is, without guns in America, we wouldn't be America. Really, that's the honest truth. America wouldn't be free. There was a time when we were told to surrender our guns many, many, many years ago. And, the founding fathers said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to, declare ourselves independent from you. You tax us without representing us. And, we're going to be independent of you. And we suffered a lot of lives. A lot of blood was shed because of that. But the truth of the matter is, had they not had, maybe a little more accurate, had they not had the ability to take in defense of themselves and defend themselves against a ruthless bunch of people, I don't think America would be America today. We would be something else. And so I know it's a delicate subject for a lot of people because there have been some very negative things about guns here lately, but there's a very positive side to this, and people kind of overlook that. I grew up around these things. I can't say enough about, I mean, that's a whole show really within itself, and it's not related to anything that we talk about here, but that's the honest truth. I grew up with these things. Friends of mine grew up with these things. We didn't have these issues years ago. Something has changed, and it's not the weapons. The weapons have always been with us. They've always been there. People will argue that if we don't have these things, then people can't do these kinds of acts. I argue that because the people that do these kind of acts don't really care about your laws. They don't care about your rules or your regulations or any of that. They're going to do what they're going to do. The only people that end up obeying these are people like me and others who obey the law. We do what we're asked to do. We register our weapons. We carry a license. We do everything that we're asked to do. And we'll be the ones who suffer. Actually, right now, we're the ones at the end of the blame game, because if you belong to somebody like the NRA or something like that, you have your finger being pointed at you because of this. So anyway, just got a text in from my friend Channing. Something has come up, and looks like one of the things he has to do is they have something with a pistol match. A special pistol match came up. Again, it's a place to go that you can learn and you can enjoy and you can feel safe around these things, because a lot of people right now feel very, very afraid. I don't know if you get that feeling, Captain Hook, but a lot of people feel very afraid around these things right now.
Yeah, they do. And it's just an education. I grew up with guns. I shot my first gun when I was 4 years old, and so I was taught the right way. But I just hope Channing's not involved in a duel over there.
No, he says, I am sorry, but I got pulled away for a special match, a pistol match. So I guess they need him for a referee or something like that.
Target. They need a target, moving target.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So we'll find out. I'll have him back on again. He probably shorthanded this morning, and they needed somebody to cover, and there was a last minute kind of thing. A lot of, I don't know if you experienced this, Captain Hook, but in my high school days, believe it or not, there were times when kids showed up with rifles in the back of their trucks. We didn't have the issues that we have today, and I want to really try to bring a more positive light to these things, because my experience with them has been a positive experience. It hasn't been something that would cause me to tell people, no, you can't have one of these, or this kind of weapon shouldn't be permitted, or that kind of weapon shouldn't be permitted. There's a lot of hype that goes on with these things. People will look at a weapon that they call, quote, an assault weapon, and they'll say, well, that weapon shouldn't be legal. Somebody doesn't need that kind of weapon. And they don't understand that I can show you a weapon that somebody would call a hunting weapon, and is every bit as powerful. It fires the same amount. It can use the same amount of bullets. The only difference is this perception that primarily the media, I believe, has given people about these things. They look at it and they go, oh my God, no, people don't need that. And then they'll look at another one that they don't realize is every bit as powerful, every bit as fast, and there's no really any difference other than the look of the weapon. And they'll say, oh, well, that's okay. That one you can use for hunting. It's something that it's a perception that we need to work through. It's something that we've been, I believe, purposely led. It's all, a lot of the stuff that goes on is hype. And with the hype comes a lot of money, believe it or not. A lot of money can be generated because of all of this. Again, I go back to the word hype. Maybe that may not be the right word, but all of this publicity over what is happening. It generates a lot of interest, and the interest generates income. I'm sorry, but that's the way that a lot of this stuff works. And that's why a lot of it comes up over and over and over again, because it generates that interest, and the interest generates income, and it's a never-ending cycle, if you will. Yeah. But there is another side to all of this. I just want to bring that out and take a moment, since I had dedicated this few minutes to the OK Gun Corral. I want to take a moment and tell you there are positive sides. There are positive things that you can do. Again, as a family, you can go out. Captain Hook fired his first weapon at 4. I fired mine. My parents didn't like weapons. I didn't have weapons at home. They didn't drink. They didn't. The last thing they wanted to do is have anything to do with guns. I had a friend of mine whose father was an avid gun collector. At 12 years old, I fired a 12-gauge shotgun. I pulled the trigger, and the next thing I saw was the sky. This thing knocked me on my behind. It was the scariest thing I had done up until that point of my life. But one thing that it had done for me, it had taught me respect, because I saw what these things could do. And from that point forward, I never really thought of using that as an aggressive weapon, as something to go after somebody with. I never really considered it. Kids came to school, and they had these things in the back of their trucks. We fought, fists flew. My goodness, we called each other names. We probably made up 4-letter words at that time. nobody ever thought about grabbing one of these things and going into school with it. Something has changed. And my point is, what has changed, our people have changed, our society has changed. We've done a lot of things with regard to schools. We've done a lot of things with regard to laws. For the life of me, I would never imagine that it is for a serviceman, someone that you have asked to go and defend our country. We're willing to give you all of the weapons that you could possibly need once you're off of the soil of the contiguous United States. But once you come back, you have to give them all up. It doesn't make any sense. Servicemen walking around a base, not being able to defend themselves, cost us lives, cost us active duty lives. I don't recall the number of people that were killed, but it was a shooting on a base. I don't know how many of you remember that. But again, it's a gun-free zone. We've got to look at what we've done with a more, I'm looking for the right word, a more open mind. To simply say it is a gun problem and believe that that's going to resolve the issue, it is not going to resolve the issue. I'm sad to tell you that, because I know from my personal experience and from people whom I grew up with personal experience, it's not just a gun. There is something else that has changed. Society has changed, and we have to look at that. If we want to be able to send our children to school and feel safe about that, we have to look at what we have changed. What have we changed in particularly the last 30 years? There's a lot of things. This is like an onion. This is not a simple answer. This is a very complicated answer. There's very many layers to this thing. We've done changes in schools. We've done changes in the way that we teach kids. Anybody who is out of the box, if you will, is automatically medicated. All of this plays a part, and the end result is the horrifying results of what happened a couple of weeks ago here in South Florida, with somebody just basically losing their mind. I don't think this young man will even remember, if he does, what he's done. I saw a picture of him. He's looking straight in the camera. He may be there physically, but he's not there mentally. And I find out later on, again, it's another individual who is on some kind of medication. Over and over and over, there are common denominators, and it's not just the gun. There are common denominators, and people are not looking at that. They're just looking at the gun, and that's not the answer. That's not the complete answer. Maybe that's a more accurate answer. It's not the complete answer. There is more to it than what you have been told. And it is a multi-layered problem. I can only tell you my experience. Captain Hook, when you went to high school, did anybody ever show up with a rifle in the back of their truck?
No, I went to Lauderdale High School, and there was, at the time, that was like a no-no. But I can tell you from being up in Ocala, we had a horse farm up in Ocala for years. And everybody drove with their pickup trucks with shotguns in the back of their truck. I mean, everybody.
We just didn't think about that. Yeah, I have a young man that I've known ever since he was a little boy. He's now a teacher. He teaches. He's a phys ed teacher up north. One of the things he teaches, believe it or not, is they allow this in school, is archery. They have archery there. And I asked him, I said, do you think any of your students would ever consider taking that bow and using it against another human being? He said, absolutely not. And I said, this is what I'm trying to portray to you. When I was growing up, we felt the same way with guns. We would never, ever consider taking a gun and using it against a fellow student. We would beat the snot out of them, beat them up till, within an inch of their lives, but we would never think of doing that. It just didn't occur to us. And so it is. And my point being is that something has changed. Now here's an individual who is teaching children the responsibilities. Believe it or not, a bow and arrow is a weapon, ladies and gentlemen. And it can be a very deadly weapon. If put in the wrong hands, it's every bit as deadly as a gun. It may not be able to fire as many rounds as a gun can, but it's every bit as deadly as a gun. Somebody could grab one of those, and maybe in some ways it's more deadly than a gun, because at least with a gun you hear the bullets going off. What happens with a bow and arrow? You'd never hear. You'd be just shooting people, and all you'd hear is people screaming. You wouldn't have any idea what they're screaming about. And what happens when you hear a commotion going on? What's the first thing that happens? People will do what? They run to the commotion instead of running away from the commotion. So to me, it could be a very deadly thing. And here's telling me firsthand, they would not even think that thought doesn't even occur to them. And that's how it was with us as I was growing up. With guns, that thought just did not occur to us. It was just not something that, that happened. And when kids showed up with guns, and it wasn't a common thing, but it did happen. And when kids did show up with guns, it wasn't a big deal. SWAT team wasn't called out. We didn't have the police called out. They were called to the office. They were typically put on a suspension. I think the first time is a 3-day suspension. The second time is was a 5-day suspension. The third time was expulsion. But my point being is that it wasn't a big deal like it is today. You come to a school, God forbid, come to a school and have a gun with you today. It would be a major, major, major commotion, a major ordeal, a major you name it. It would be there. I wouldn't be surprised if a SWAT team would be called out.
Yeah, you'd be expelled immediately. And that would be the end of it. I mean, the little kids show up with graham crackers in the shape of a gun, and they get expelled.
Yeah. So there's no tolerance for that kind of thing today. And there's a reason behind that. And there's a reason behind what happened here in South Florida. And it's not just that thing that people are calling an assault weapon. We've got to remember the word assault is a verb. All of them are weapons. Any of them could be called assault. Any of them could be called defense. It just depends on your perception of what it is. Anyway, that is my dedication to the OK Gun Corral this morning. There is a positive side to this. You can enjoy that under the right circumstances with responsible people who know what they're doing. I hope you'll take advantage of that if you're interested in it. We've got a break. We will be right back. It is the Fish Florida Show this morning with Riscala and Captain Hook. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. 561-281-9138.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 104 478 Roosevelt Boulevard, North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center. 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and my special co-host today, Captain Hook, with me on the other side of the state. He's on the west side of the state. I'm on the east side of the state. He's a little further north of me, but we're both experiencing a beautiful, still very, very crisp morning here in South Florida. Beautiful sunshine, a very little bit of wind where I'm at. Of course, I'm a little west of, I'm probably about 20 miles west of the ocean. Very mild here, but with regard to the wind, but very crisp this morning, and a little bit different from what I understand up north. There are people right now, believe it or not, those of you who are here in South Florida with me, believe it or not, there are people who are digging themselves out of a really, really very, very heavy storm going on up there. And I got to hear from my daughter. She's up in Ohio, and I'm sure she's just enjoying the wonderful part of winter up there. Anyway, we have a special app if you're not familiar with it. It's called the Fish Florida app, and it is free. It's a free download. And in the Fish Florida app, you will find this to be a vital tool that you could have literally within your hand, within the palm of your hand. A tool that can tell you all about all kinds of information that's going on outdoors. Again, today's a beautiful day. Whether you're going to go boating, I don't know, some of you might think it's a little cool to go swimming, but there are people who actually go swimming today. I remember the days when I was younger, and there wasn't anything, if there were waves out there wasn't anything going to keep me away from it. So maybe you'll go swimming, maybe you'll go snorkeling or kayaking. We've talked a little bit about everything this morning. One thing we haven't talked about, really have a discussion about, is something that I ran into yesterday at this launch, the Quest for the Ring launch. And it was an alcoholic beverage called the Mermaid vodka. And I was so impressed with this thing. I had to ask the young lady who came up with this to come on and share with us how she did all this. I got to tell you, if you ever have an opportunity to find Mermaid vodka, I promise you will not be sorry. Anyway, words can't describe it. I'm going to let her do it for me because she is far more knowledgeable in the art of making it than I am. Good morning and welcome, Carol, to the Fish Florida Show, and tell us a little bit about what you have.
Well, good morning. It was a pleasure to meet you yesterday, and thank you so much for having us on the show this morning. We really appreciate it. So,
it's an honor.
Mermaid vodka is basically the combination of my passion for fishing and mermaids. That's really how it came about.
Wow. So, got to tell me a little bit more now. You've got me chomping at the bit, if you will.
Okay. So, yeah, I've had a lifelong passion for fishing. I've fished all my life growing up in Maryland. My dad took us out every chance we got. We were out on a boat fishing from the dock, crabbing, you name it. If it was anything to do with the water and fishing, we were doing it. So,
wow.
When you become passionate about something and you find a way to combine that with a business, it's a success. And, I was the little girl when I was out fishing with my dad that was, when the fish weren't biting, I was looking over the side of the boat hoping to see a mermaid surface. And, they're mythological creatures, but they're fascinating. And, everybody loves a mermaid, as you saw yesterday at the Jimmy Johnson fishing tournament gifting suite.
Yeah. There was a lot of people around there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. It was a great event, first-class tournament, like you said earlier on your show.
It was amazing. So tell me a little bit about the product itself, because honestly, I think I shared with you, I'm not really someone who enjoys that, but I enjoyed what you had. I don't really care for liquor per se, but when I had a taste of your, this is why I wanted you on. I was so impressed because it was so different than anything else I've ever tasted in my life. A little bit about the process.
Well, we partner with Citrus Distillers. They're our distiller in Riviera Beach, Florida. So we're a Florida brand. And we, when I went to them to do the formula, we basically wanted to make sure it was the smoothest vodka you would ever taste. So it was really important that it's premium. And by premium, I mean distilling it 6 times, using premium corn, filtered water. So it's super, super smooth. And most people, when they taste it, they really are surprised at how easy it is to drink straight or combined with their favorite mixer.
It's like I said, I don't have a lot of experience in that area because I really don't care for the taste of it. But this stuff really, I was very pleasantly surprised. I had 3 of them. That's not normal for me, but that's how I really enjoyed the taste of it. And that to me, coming from me, that is a huge compliment because I don't care for the taste of, and it's like you said, it's very smooth, very, very, just very surprising. It really was. It was very surprising. And there was a lot of people who were there around her booth who I'm sure agreed with me because it was almost kind of like when you step on an ant pile and you see them all coming out. That was kind of like what it was around her booth. All these people all around the booth all the time. And it was because they were giving away free samples. And I got to tell you, if people didn't like it, they wouldn't be there. It was amazing. It really was. The story behind it, as Carol has shared just a brief little bit about it, the story behind it being a local company, those of you who listen to me know that one of my passions is small companies, local. Spend your money local whenever you can. A majority of your money stays here. A local company, small company, family owned. This was started by Carol. Am I correct, Carol?
Yes, you are correct. I am the chief executive mermaid.
And just to mention to you, I don't know if you ever saw, but there was a report a while back, I think it was on the Discovery Channel, that they believe they found a really live mermaid. They were down in a one of those subs with 2 people in it, and one of them touched the outside of the sub with their hand, and there's a video of that. Are you aware of that?
Actually, I did see that. Every time there's something that has to do with mermaids, whether it's on Discovery Channel or in a store, on the internet, people know my passion for mermaids. Mm-hmm. So, I've had the link sent to me hundreds of times, and I never get tired of seeing it. I mean, it's amazing. I hope to have a mermaid sighting one day, but for now, we'll deal with the 2-legged mermaids on land.
That is true.
Speaking of Discovery, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Fish Mavericks.
No.
No? Okay. Well, you're going to hear about them. They're actually, we're sponsoring the Fish Mavericks, and it's like fishing kind of combined with a reality show. It's really, really funny, super interesting. You can watch it right now on WavePoint, and we're sponsoring them.
Oh, wow.
So, here we are, a small company getting ready to go very big with our sponsorship for the Fish Mavericks, and they're going to air on Discovery. So I thought I'd mention to your listeners,
great.
They might want to tune in to see it.
And when is that supposed to be?
They start filming in March, so we'll have an episode where they feature Mermaid Vodka as one of their sponsors, and our logo is going to be wrapped on the side of their boats and their trucks, and we'll be on their shirts. And we're really looking forward to being part of the Fish Mavericks programming. It's an amazing show. You can watch the season 1 and 2 episodes on WavePoint right now, and then of course on the Discovery Channel. Like I said, filming starts in March.
And of course, it's fishing. Is it backwater, offshore?
Mostly offshore. Dave and the guys at Fish Mavericks, Dave and Jerry, they fish competitively. They're tournament fishermen. They've won a lot of tournaments, and they do mostly offshore fishing, but they also do a lot of charitable work, which is one of the reasons we were interested in partnering with them. They support a lot of charities. They go to, charity fishing tournaments, and that's also part of their programming. So it's a great show. It's like I said, it's more about the Fish Mavericks, the team, the things they do in different areas. They go to Costa Rica. They film a lot in Florida, Virginia Beach. I mean, these guys are everywhere. They're amazing.
Wow.
High energy fishermen. And their show's fantastic.
And it's called the Fish Maverick.
Fish Mavericks.
Oh, plural. Okay, Fish Mavericks. Okay, and it's so they're primarily doing offshore. Are they in a large vessel? They're doing. Is this something that is like a 30-foot, a 40-foot vessel?
Yeah, it's a 40-foot center console, and they basically they have a couple of boats actually, but that is their main tournament boat, and they've just taken their passion for fishing and created a reality show. And if I'm not mistaken, their producer is the same producer as Duck Dynasty. So that's, if you can, get a feel for where we're going with the show here. It's more reality, the personalities, and then of course you get to watch these guys fish, and they're amazing fishermen, tremendous anglers.
I can always tell the professionals because they make it look real easy. Whatever that might be, whether it's basketball, football, whatever that might be, fishing, hunting, whatever it is, the professionals always make it look like, oh yeah, I could go do that. And then you go try that and go, oh my goodness, how in the world did they do that? It really is. You can always tell the professionals. Anytime you watch somebody make something look easy, you know that person is really a professional. And I got a feeling that's what these guys do. They kind of make it look easy. I take it you've seen the versions that are already out?
Yes, I've watched them on Wavepoint, and the show's amazing. I mean, oh, bless you. The things that the places where they fished, they're in Venice, Louisiana, they're in Costa Rica, they come down to Palm Beach and Miami. They're fishing at this season. I think they're going to have quite a few lady anglers on the boat for different episodes. So, Mermaid Vodka just kind of swam right in there and took our position on the boat, and they're really just the nicest guys you'd ever meet. Very down to earth, like a lot of fishermen. That's what one of the things we love about the fishing community is people who fish are just good old people, and they welcome you with open arms. And Dave Shunke and his uncle are exactly like that.
That's what I experienced. Yeah, that was my experience yesterday at that opening party. Very welcoming people, everybody. Whether it was somebody who was gifting as they called it, or whether it was somebody that was just there representing, or whether it was somebody that was fishing. Everybody was just very welcoming, very kind, very professional. The kind of people you want to be around. It's that kind of thing. This is why my passion is fishing primarily. For families, keep your family together. Go fishing and go enjoy it as a family, and that experience helps bond you as a family. And it's one of the things that I'm so grateful to my dad for growing up. He took us fishing as a family. We did it as a family outing, and it's just a way for everybody to have the same experience. And enjoying that experience, you get to build your bond. You get to build relationships. To me, it's all about relationships. Again, whether it's a business relationship or a personal relationship, to me, it's all about relationships. Carol, if somebody wants to buy your product, how do they do that?
Well, we did just launch our product in the retail segment in February. So we're available right now for purchase at Primo Liquors in Fort Lauderdale and Weston and Southwest Ranches. And on the west coast of Florida, in Sarasota, we're available for purchase at the Crescent Club and Siesta Spirits. But like I said, we just got launched in February. First pallet came into the warehouse. We actually gave Jimmy Johnson at the gifting suite yesterday an engraved bottle wow. 1 of 1 from our first pallet.
Wow.
And we're new. We just splashed onto the scene, but we're making a big splash for sure.
You aren't kidding.
And then in about a week, our website, which is already live, www.mermaidvodkausa.com, we'll have a buy now button. So if you're not in Florida, which is where we're starting our distribution, and we're headed to Louisiana next with Buquet Distributors, you can buy it online. On or around the end of the week, the buy now button will be active. And we've certainly had a lot of people asking, how do we get it? Where do we get it? We're swimming as fast as we can to get it on shelves and behind bars. And, you know, if anybody's listening and they have an establishment where they want to carry it, please reach out to me. I take all my calls. I'm very easy to get a hold of.
And do you want to give out a phone number in case somebody wants to call you, Carol?
Sure. Area code 561-573-8654. You can call me, text me, or you can reach out to us on the website. We respond to all inquiries. And any way you want to reach us is fine. We're ready for you.
I have a question because I'm not real clear about it. If I live in Florida, can I buy it online once it's available online? Can I buy it?
Yes, you can buy it online, or you can go into any one of the Primo liquor stores or up on the West Coast. I'm not exactly sure where, or you're in South Florida, right? So any Primo liquor store right now, but you can also buy it online, and any state can buy it online. We're in 48 of the 50 states. Excellent.
All right, that is Carol Strickland. She is with Mermaid Vodka, and I promise you, you will not be sorry. If this is something that you enjoy, don't give up the opportunity. This is something that you really will. You'll be amazed. You really will. I think she said 6 times, Carol. 6 times it's filtered.
6 times distilled, gluten-free, made from premium corn, and it's filtered. So that's how we get that extra smoothness. And I did also want to add, we're also fishing the Jimmy Johnson Billfish Tournament. So our team will be not only down at the Big Chill and Ocean Reef with Mermaid Vodka sampling, but we'll also be fishing the tournament. So keep an eye out for us.
Well, good luck. I appreciate you taking the time to call in. Carol Strickland with Mermaid Vodka. If you want to reach her, 561-573-8654. I'm up against a break, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't go away. We will be right back. It is the Fish Florida Show this morning with Riscala and Captain Hook. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
You've seen how recent hurricanes have devastated whole communities, flooding and destroying homes. Join Habitat for Humanity as we work with families to repair and rebuild. You can help someone desperately in need of a place to call home. We will rebuild, but only with your help. Visit Habitat.org to support Habitat's work.
Hello, I'm Hector Elizondo, and I want to talk to you about getting older. My body hurts, my joints ache, and sometimes I forget. I forget that doing all your own scenes for a movie isn't always the best decision, especially when you're galloping high speed on a horse named Archibello. So yes, my body hurts, but it's not because of my age. It's because I'm living my life.
Don't let life pass you by. Take care of your brain health. It may just help you stay on top of your game.
Oh, Archibello!
Learn more at brainhealth.gov.
Hey y'all, Cedric the Entertainer here with Niecy Nash, taking a break from shooting The Soul Man to introduce you to Patience.
Hi.
Patience is a patient at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for anything because all the family should worry about is helping their child live.
St. Jude won't give up until they end childhood cancer, sickle cell, and other deadly diseases.
Because of you, there is St. Jude.
Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Adkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace. WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com.
WDBFradio.com.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It calls me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
And we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining, this is the last portion of the show this morning. Normally I have my sidekick, Devin Canhigh with me, but he is out performing service this morning. He is an active reservist, so he is performing active duty today. Thank you for your service, Dennis. Greatly appreciate it. In his place, I have the one and only Captain Hook. He is with me this morning helping me co-host as well as being the producer. Captain Hook, thank you so much for what you do behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know that you're there, but
my pleasure.
I know that you're there and I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And, I had mentioned earlier that I had met some very unique and very interesting and very wonderful people there at this launch off, if you will, of the Quest for the Ring. One of the young men that I met there is an artist. His name is Dennis Friel. Dennis really impressed me with his ability. I caught him painting, of course, the Hard Rock is all about guitars. Everywhere I went was guitars. I saw so many guitars. And I love guitars. But one of the things that impressed me about Dennis was, he was almost like a freehand, almost like a freehand drawing, painting on this guitar, which really caught my attention. The reason that it did, and I've got, if you want an idea of what he was doing, you can go to the Facebook page and you'll see that there's a wide variety of pictures up there. When you see the pictures of what I call the logo, where it says a Quest for the Ring, this is Dennis's artwork. This is some of the stuff that this guy's capable of. It's just amazing. I've always had a deep inspiration of those who are able to take something from within their mind and then put it out in front and make it real, make it something that other people can share and see that has come literally from within their mind. And Dennis is that kind of guy. So I wanted to have him come on. I wanted to have him share with us a little bit about what he's done. And if anybody has a need for an artist, I can tell you, go on the Facebook page, look at the pictures, and I don't even think the pictures do it justice, to be honest with you, but you'll get an idea. You'll get a fairly good idea of what this young man is capable of. Welcome to the show, Dennis. Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, morning. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
So I got to apologize first off the bat if I sound a little slow. You know, Jimmy, Todd, and Val, they throw a heck of a party, and coincidentally happened to be my birthday yesterday. So needless to say, we had a pretty good time last night.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
So I take it that you're recovering this morning from a little bit of the gatherings that were going on last night.
Yeah, you know, I'm doing surprisingly better than I thought I'd be. But no, it was a good day.
Well, I wanted to bring you on because I was so impressed with your ability to do what you do and to be able to do it with, there was a lot of noise. I mean, with regard to being able to focus on something like painting, which requires focus. There was a lot of noise. There was music going on. There was people talking. There's all this stuff going on, but you were, now let me tell you something. I saw the focus in your eye and it was on that guitar. Did you get it finished? Cause I had to leave and I didn't see the finished product.
I'm not quite finished with it yet. I'm going to be at the other events this week down in Key Largo, the Captain's Party on Wednesday night, the Pro-Am celebration at the Ocean Reef on the Thursday night, and I should be finished up with it by then, to be honest with you, and to kind of make this thing ready. It's going to go for auction at the award ceremony on Saturday night down at the Big Chill.
Well, I am sure it's going to get a pretty penny, a very pretty penny. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
The thing is just gorgeous.
That's very appreciated.
So tell me a little bit about some of the other stuff that you've done. I mentioned that you did what I call the logo. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but the logo for the Quest for the Ring. Some of the other things that you've done?
Well, we run a full-time studio, focused primarily on the marine industry. And, you know, we handle everything from, you know, commission paintings, to doing, you know, brand work for marine-based companies. And we do a lot of the shirt designs for some of the major boats, in these tournaments. You know, we handle fulfillment of the shirts and everything. And, you know, we're kind of I call myself an agile art studio. So we can kind of go a bunch of different directions. We focus on a premier client list and, you know, we service people both locally and clients from around the world on different fishing locations. And I take it do you have a website? I do. It's DennisFriel.com, DennisFriel.com. And we also can be found on social media at Dennis Friel Art. How long have you been doing this, Dennis? You know, it's funny. Everyone asks me that question, and I always kind of say, you know, I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. I've always been an artist, and it seems like I was born with a pencil in my hand. You know, my parents have pictures back to when I was a little baby drawing things, and I've always had somewhat of a unique talent and passion for it, which I think passion is just as important as talent, you know, and hard work to kind of making it mature into something meaningful. So as far as painting fish goes, I've been painting fish probably since I was in middle school, high school. And I've been doing it for a long time. And it reflects, that was kind of a loaded question. I figured you were somebody that's kind of almost like born with a paintbrush in your hand. And I gathered that from the way that you handled yourself yesterday in dealing with this, painting this guitar. I know you're going to have plenty of pictures. Please remember to send me a couple of those. I'd like to put them up on the site. I'd like people to see, this guitar. I was just so, amazed by the ability that you had there. So you think by, what is it, next Friday is when the Ocean Reef is going to happen? Well, next Saturday is, I'll be at Ocean Reef, for the Pro-Am. I'm kind of hoping the painting's going to be done by then, but I like to bring in the whole, live experience as much as I can. And to kind of to the point you were saying before about having everyone around and trying to remain focused with the music and the sound. And you have to remember that most of the times I'm in the studio by myself. Right. Whether I have music on or in complete silence sometimes. You know, I'm pretty much by myself doing this all day long. You know, my wife is an artist as well, so she'll be in the studio part-time sometimes. You know, she splits the time between watching the kids and being a full-time artist herself. But there's a lot of solitude involved. So when I get the chance to come out and kind of be amongst the people, for lack of a better term, you know, I'm somewhat of a gregarious person, so I love being around people, and especially a lot of those guys in this fishing circuit are very close friends of mine. And I just like being around fishermen in general. And we talk fishing, and we can talk, you know, just about the culture and the lifestyle of fishing, or just simply just hang out and have a drink together. Yep. It gives me an opportunity to kind of bring out what I do to them and share it a little bit and get a little interactive with it, which is a good change of pace for me. So when there's music involved, there's people coming up to me saying hi, I absolutely love it. I can't get enough of it.
Well, there was a lot of people doing that. I was one of them, but there was a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was surprised you got as much done as you did. There was quite a few people around. I was going to ask you, what you know, we've talked about this guitar painting, and I mentioned I call it the logo. What other kind of artwork do you paint on canvas as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do commission paintings on canvas and sometimes, you know, art boards. You know, for our client list, you know, we just finished one up, that was a marlin painting. It's about a 48 by 24 inch marlin painting that, is being shipped out next week to a customer in Dubai. And that's going to end up living in his cigar room on his 125-foot Westport yacht.
Wow.
So we do commissions like that all the time.
Wow.
And we also service, you know, the boaters who want to get the shirts done. We do the shirts designs for them too. A lot of times those are hand drawn in pencil and then sometimes colored in a digital file. You know, it's kind of what I was getting at with an Agile Art Studio. We can go a bunch of different directions. I guess that's a long way of saying, yeah, we definitely paint on canvas, but we can do other things as well.
I was surprised when you said shirts. See, that again, you said something I wasn't aware of. So they can come to you. If a fishing team can come to you and go, Dennis, this is my idea. What can you come up with? You can take it from A to Z. You can provide the shirt. You can provide the artwork and provide the delivery as well.
Yep, we do it all day long. That's actually kind of the meat and potatoes of the business, is doing the custom work for the boaters and the fishermen and the teams, the captains, the owners.
Anything else along that line that you do that's custom? Do you? I know nothing about what you do, so forgive me if it's kind of
okay. Sure, no, absolutely. I'd love to share. I mean, everything custom that you can think of within the boating industry. I mean, if you want to take the logo or that we've designed and put it on, you know, hats, you know, shirts, cups, you know, everything. We do boat wraps a lot as well. That's actually one of my favorite things to do. There's nothing like seeing your artwork going 60 miles an hour with something with quads on the back of it. You know, and that's truly a passion of mine too, is doing the boat wraps. So now that, you know, we'll do mural boat wraps. Actually, we're coming up on a big project, to something that's a little bit outside of the box of what we're talking about. The city of Pompano and the CRA is, they've done a lot of redevelopment around town, and they're redesigning the Atlantic Boulevard Bridge, and we're going to end up having 6 murals on the side of that thing.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a big project. Thanks. Yeah, it's a big project for us. We're super excited about it.
Okay, now you said something I didn't even know existed. Boat wrap. I'm familiar with automobile wrap. Is it the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's the same material, same install methods. But, you know, you'll see it on a lot of the center consoles primarily. You know, some of the sport fish have them, that have the big sponsors to them. But primarily it's more like a center console thing. You know, we focus on center consoles between 30 and 45 feet, primarily like the CVs and the Sea Hunters and, you know, the Invincibles and the Contenders and boats like that. You know, the real fishing machines, you know. That's primarily what we do most of our wraps on. We have done sport fish before, like large. I think our largest wrap that we've done to date is a 54 Viking. You know, but I do everything from, you know, I could do a flats boat or a bay boat all the way up to a 54 and beyond.
Wow. I just learned, I had no idea that boats would get a wrap.
Absolutely.
If it's the same thing as a car, it could actually act as a protective.
Too.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
As it's actually a good way to protect your boat, and it makes for easy cleanup on your boat too. You know, you don't have to wax it or polish it once it's got the wrap on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. All right, I'm running out of time. Dennis, what a wonderful experience having you on this morning. I'm going to look forward to having you back on again. I learned some things from you. I had no idea boats could be wrapped. My goodness. That is Dennis Friel, ladies and gentlemen. He is with D. Friel Art Studios. You can find him at online. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys in a week. Enjoy your day. What a beautiful day we have today. Thank you, God. We'll see you in a week.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me. I'd love to come back.